Hi, welcome back to Tech and Learning Live. I'm Kevin Hogan, Content Director for Tech and Learning. With me here is John Bergmann, one of our longtime advisors, one of the Tech and Learning's most influential, I guess it was 2 years ago,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like to, I'm proud of the fact that we were one of the first to publish an excerpt of the book for flipped learning. So
Yeah.
John is the one of the founders of the concept of flipped learning, and a lot has gone on in just a couple of years.
It has. It's been amazing.
Yeah, so why don't you give us the latest and greatest?
Well, we found a big need for very specific professional development and resources for teachers. So just this past year, we've been writing a series of books on flipping the different content areas. So flipping science, math, English, social studies, and elementary. So there's a series of 5 books that we've been writing, 2 of which are published right now.
Okay.
And the 2 are written, and 1 more we're still writing. So the math and science are available now.
Okay. So over this course of, I mean, it's only a couple of years now since this phenomenon began. Talk a little bit about some of the surprises from that first book to the books that you're writing now. What have been some of the things that you didn't expect to happen?
I think the biggest things is how teachers have taken the model and really personalized it for what they're doing in their own classrooms. That's been really cool. They start with the flipped classroom. It's really a very simple idea. Let's just take your lectures, your direct instruction, and let's put it on a video. But then magic happens in the classroom, and there's just so many different answers to what it looks like. Some teachers doing more project-based, some doing some more inquiry, mastery, competency-based, universal design for learning. There's a lot of different things that they're incorporating in very different ways based upon what they teach, the context in which they teach, and whatnot.
Wow.
I think the other thing that I've seen significantly is just the international scope of this. We have been literally in almost every country you can imagine seeing just this growth. And the book that you were the first ones to put an excerpt is now in every major language.
That's amazing.
In fact, our second book, I met with the South Korean publisher of our second book. It is the #1 selling book, education book in all of Korea.
That's fantastic.
You know, who would, you know, it's completely transforming classrooms across the world.
Talk a little bit about the students and how they adapt to it, or do they even need to adapt to it, or do they just find it normal?
That was a very interesting thing we discovered, even right when we first started flipping our classes in Colorado, is that the kids, it was kind of a novel idea for about 2 weeks, and then it's like, oh, this is good. And I heard a quote from one kid. It wasn't one of my students, but this, one of the flipped class teachers, and she says, her student said, "Finally, someone teaches the way I learn."
Wow.
I mean, because we are teaching the YouTube generation. Like it or not, the first place they go is, boop, they pull out their phone, right? Like they pull up YouTube and how do I learn? And that's the world we're living in, face it. So let's not try and fight it, let's infiltrate it.
Right, right. Talk a little bit about what you see coming in the next year, the next book. What's on the horizon for flipped learning?
We actually like to distinguish between flipped classroom is what everyone thinks about, and flipped learning is where you now add the deeper components.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe it's semantics where there's the first level flipped classroom, and then the second iteration, which could take many forms.
Right.
We're going to call that flipped learning.
Great. Well, John, thanks for your time. We appreciate
Awesome
it.
to be here.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Yes, good
Thanks.
seeing you, Kevin.